Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 21st of December. So, well, Euro just pulled out of a range actually yesterday and gave some back towards the end of it, but did manage quite a thrust up there relatively, and certainly has broken the trend properly, I guess. That was sort of started to break and looks at the moment there could be some more legs in what's going on here. Coming to the shorter intermediate time here, that just sort of looking at where we are. I mean, if it's one of those mornings, if we do see it start breaking down from this pivot here, this where it's sitting at the moment, well, maybe it could be back to the 50, maybe sort of into yesterday's high. I say yesterday's highs, the previous day's highs there may provide a bit of support with that 50. Thereafter the S1. At the moment, well, there's a potential for it to push back to test these prior highs. There's certainly a possibility of it pushing in that sort of direction. There's not a lot else there really at the moment. The momentum certainly seems to be with the upside. So I was just looking to see if there's any order flow that could take from what we're seeing here. Okay, so we're starting to buy orders sitting appear much higher up in the markets here. So there is the potential for, as I say, the upside to continue really as they start appearing. Okay, so bullish slant on that at the moment, but a break of the 21s and below that pivot, I would probably readdress that. The pound's gone the opposite way, effectively staying within the chop, very bitty, very range bound. Little much more to say on this at the moment, of course, apart from that at some point I'm sure it's going to fire out in one direction or another, but what that's going to be is another matter. It has got the daily pivot above, so there is the potential for it to run towards that daily pivot. Got one stack. I mentioned the moving averages yesterday morning. Well, those moving averages are just sort of sprayed out a little bit now, and look like, well, they could be potential. Every single one of them potential resistance. I think it could be a slow mucky day unless something really fires into the pound there. So there is a bit of divergence at the lows here with the pound, so it's got a bit more hope from that perspective. But yeah, it's not looking wonderful at all from a trading point of view at the moment. Okay, dollar yen. Now we saw a shoot up through the Asian session here. We had the Bank of Japan policy rate decision. We had one dissenter once again, pushing the dollar yen up. Not quite sure. I read somewhere multi-month highs. I can't really see multi-month highs, but it's pushing up anyway at the moment. And my news service is completely wrong there. It's still short of last month's highs there, but pushing towards those highs. Just coming back from the daily perspective. That's MIDI. We can see just above those. That was last month's highs there. Could be say last month's the earlier month's highs, because crikey, that's last week's highs, beg your pardon. It could still be pushing into last week's highs. So well, it's bullish at the moment. Any retracements may give further opportunities for further upside at this rate. It doesn't look like there's anything to suggest anything different there. Yeah. Aussie dollar then. Let the chop continue. I'm not really going to say too much about that apart from it's chopping. It's chopped and it's continues chop all week. It's little I really want to be doing that. Yes, it could break through here at some point and break one way or the other, but it's just not worth any more time. There we go. And the Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar, a slight sign of a bearish pivot swing put in yesterday, could sell off a little bit more. It sort of followed the euros sort of lead to a degree yesterday, but still in a very tight range, very bitty. There is some CPI data at 1:30. It's about the only news that's apart from some public sector net borrowing for the pound at 9:30 this morning. 1:30, we've got a load of Canadian data all coming out, the CPI and the retail sales. Perhaps that might give it a little bit of a kicker. If we were to see anything significant in oil, maybe we may get a kicker. But there's little to talk about here at the moment. It's apart from it's got, I guess, the best potential is still a bit more to the downside if we can break through the monthly pivot there. So if we can continue down on that, it may be good for the S1. I'm just looking short term here. There is a daily pivot untouched here, and if it continues to bounce off this monthly pivot, well, perhaps it could be up to that. But I would watch that. But it's so range bound and tight. It's not for me to be trading today. So there you go. That's today. Have a great one. Bye for now.